talk he's done. So the relevance that I found was that if I am training my students to be mentally strong, to find the positive and optimistic side, are we preparing a corporate side or a corporate world for them that is ready to take their trained mindset that they're coming with that bounce back, with that well-being aspect, with positive mindset from schools? So I was like, okay, let me talk in that perspective. So as the world faces today climate crisis, we can't forget that. The world is facing international protests. We can't forget about the social inequality. We can't forget about the gender inequality, the racism, the recent racism event happening. We can't forget all of that. There is a huge social change. There is a huge a struggle in the social sector that they don't know what to do. When I was jotting down what is the struggle, organizations across the spectrum are experiencing funding crisis, loss of jobs. They don't have the means now to make the things run. I was just reading a report yesterday from one of the GCC countries that they are going to now touch down opening their reserves to basically run the thing. And it was all over the media. In the midst of these challenges, staff resilience, collaboration, innovation are the emerging things that we need to develop. We need to focus and have a vision of that. Research shows very clearly that leaders who focus on these things, they have more retention of the staff members. Their vision is accomplished more easily and goals are very easily achieved. Can we move to the next slide, please? Oh, I have this, all right. So, what is well-being? We keep listening to this word, well-being, positive mindset. It's very simple. Well-being is our ability to feel good and function effectively. That's it. It does not mean happy. Constant happiness is not well-being. You cannot be constantly happy. You cannot be always doing things that make you happy. But when you are in your lows, then the ability to feel good, then the ability to bounce back, and then function effectively. It is what provides us with the resilience to navigate the natural highs and lows we all experience in our lives, while enabling us to intellectually, emotionally, socially, and physically flourish. As simple as that. We all have that. How does well-being look like in a corporate world? Imagine you have a group of people, you have to give them tasks, you may be a part of that team, or you may be a project leader, and you receive the results. The results of one of your top performing person are going low. You are like, okay, there are two ways of going about it as a leader. Either you pick your phone and you tell him to come down, or her down, sit with you in the office and explain the numbers. Why are they going down? He can explain you, he can give you reasons, and he can promise you, okay, I will do better for the next, task. But then there is another way. When you have this aspect in your organization, that you will, as the leader, who advocates leadership, who advocates well-being, who advocates the personal, social, emotional needs first, would get up, go to his office, her office, or cubicle, or the desk, or the place, and you go in and say, hey, how are you doing? How is everything? How's family? The minute you tap that circle, you have engaged. You have come closer to that person. Of course you have a company to run, you have charts to maintain, you have money to make. That's not, can't say unimportant. But how to go about it? So having to ask in an empathetic way, and then you ask, hey buddy, your previous charts were always higher. What's wrong? How can I support you? How can I help you? What exactly as a leader, as a team member, or a colleague, you did? You basically enabled intellectual, emotional, social, and physical aspect of that person to flourish. And with that individual flourishing part, eventually the organization is flourishing. This is normal picture that when we see well-being, you go on Wordle, you go on Google, this is the footage that comes out. Happiness, well-being, health, information, possibility, people, service, contentment. Even when I'm doing activities with my professional staff members and I tell them to do a Mentimeter, this is what comes out. But how to go about it, that is what is important now in today's time. Now again, as I said, I needed to make it relevant with the corporate sector. I needed to make it relevant for my thought to have a connection with your field of work, is where a total of 7 dimensions have been identified as relevant and important to achieving workplace health and well-being at organizational levels. Altogether now 7 dimensions of workplace well-being. It used to be physical fitness, physical comfort, physical nourishment. And that was it. We all knew for very long we have to go to gym. We all knew we have to eat right, because this is what we are endorsed. We're told. Kellogg's tell us, morning get up, get the best cereals, you will be, in the best shape. Another company gets up, gives you another idea, and so on and so forth. So physical, comfort, fitness, nourishment was what we were past 50, 55 years trained for. And we all love that. We all love our granola Nutri-Bars in the morning. We love the chia seeds. We love the superfoods. We love all of that. And then the humanity came to a pause. And I'm going to talk again from the educational aspect. That one day we did an activity with our parents. We had about 180 parents attending our school. We have 1,785 students, and out of which only 150 parents came. And they were like, why is counselor calling us? Why is she going to motivate us? We have enough on our hand. I said, no problem, 150 is a good number. And I did an activity. I would want to do that quick 10 seconds, 15 seconds with you. If you are mums, aunts, nieces, anything you have, tell me, where do you want to see? How do you want to see your child or whoever is with you in the next 20 years? I would say I want to see my son honest. Any other words that you think? Successful. Compassionate. Happy. Healthy. Authentic. Thank you. And we can have a lot of aspirations in our mind for our children, for our nephews, for our nieces, for all the children, for me, for my students. Where is the scientist, engineer, doctor, and all of those 25th century ahead people for artificial intelligence and all of that? We're not talking. Do we want to see that? Yes, we do want to see them that. But this is the core. Are we teaching that? Are we preparing that? That is where the educational rerun happened. Educational sector had to stop the sausage factory, had to stop that every sausage has to be similar, packed and put into the rack. We stopped that. We're not bringing life skills. We're not bringing emotional, social, connectedness, sense of belonging. How to be happy, how to be authentic. There has to be a guideline, right? In the morning you drop off your child and you say, be good, enjoy. How? How is he going to do that? There has to be a guide, there has to be a toolkit for that, there has to be strategy for that. Now, having all of these 1,700 students trained in 13 years of their schooling, they are now coming as an influx in your world, corporate world. You're not ready to have them. There is no bridge that is connected. You're ready to make numbers. You're ready to become big, or whatever your vision and mission is. The vision has to have some kind of well-being element attached to it. So that is where the rest of the dimensions came in, and that is environmental well-being. Your organization needs to have that kind of environment where people are feeling welcome. Cognitive well-being, emotional well-being, social well-being. This is where we are now preparing our students to come into the world and work with these extra dimensions. And you as corporate leaders need to have those endorsed in your systems, in your organizations. Yes, ma'am. So it's not just then the school, the connection goes, all sides, the real world, the practical world, the skillful world, the schooling, the educational industry, and then the parenting, and bringing organizational well-being to life. So yesterday I was talking to my husband, I was going through my slide. He being an organizational, in the business past 16 years here in the GCC, he said, oh, what you're talking is amazing. It looks lovely. How to bring it? It's not easy. It's not comfortable to sort of talk. It's nice to listen. It's wonderful. We walk out with good bag. Then I had to stop and reevaluate my slides. And I'm not going to take a long time. I'm just going to go with certain sayings that I felt connected with me and the future leaders that are going to be joining corporate world. Is that the first thing, if you want to have a well-being element, part of your social welfare thread in an organization, you as leaders, you as corporate organization CEOs, you all are big shots. You need to have a commitment wholeheartedly. As Ken Blanchard say, there is a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. So if you want to do the well-being as a part of your corporate thread, as a part of your social welfare, this is what is required as the first step. It never starts from down. In our educational leadership, we always say that governance, the stakeholders, all the spheres have to be committed to it. One person can bring little change, but if all are committed, then change is bigger. Lay the capability groundwork. Any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomfort. As Mr. Tariq also mentioned, and Ms. Rahaf also mentioned that the question is that, are we ready to come out of our comfort zone? We need to. Otherwise, Corona made it. We had no choice. We were very comfortably waking up in the morning, going to work, working, like every industry has their own working hours. We are 6:30 to 3:30. We come back home 4:30 and khalas, we're over. But then no, Teams came up, Google Classroom came up, that came up, this came up, and we never stopped working. We were working from morning all the way in the evening, and then round the clock. So yes, we have to be ready for the drawbacks and discomforts, and for that we need to have a capability laid strongly as a groundwork. And another part is encourage active staff participation. Now, active staff participation is a very extremely crucial element. We in our educational sector, we call it student voice and choice. In our school system, we make it sure we train the staff that the classroom, the institution belongs to the students. It's their place. If we connect it with the corporate, the organization belongs to its employees. They come there. It's their place. They should feel comfortable. They should have a voice and choice when you're making your decisions, when you're creating some kind of a new plan. Their strategic input is extremely important. And if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that is extremely, extremely important. We want to go far. Consistency is the key. When I'm hiring some staff members and we have some kind of, budget issues and we have cut slash on our salaries. And an amazing, resourceful person would say, but this salary is not enough. I always tell them, I know, but see it from the perspective of long term. You get a good salary for 3 months and then you don't get. And then if you get regular salary for 12 months, what is better? So that is where I train their mindset to see it as on a consistent level. Again, connection with the business, because well-being, again, talking, how it resonates. Improved safety with a 32% average reduction in claims. This is a well-being census that happened in 32% reduction in workers that happened in 2003, and it was quoted by Chapman. Employees with high levels of well-being are more likely to take early actions and seek help rather than risk poor health. It is estimated workplace health programs can achieve an average of 32% reduction in workers' compensation and disability claim costs. Up to 8 times more engaged by helping employees to maximize their personal resources, supporting them to function to the best of their abilities, individually and collectively, and producing a positive overall experience at work. It is estimated employees are up to 8 times more likely to be engaged when well-being is a priority aspect in an organization. And it's exactly the same for our students. If we take care of their well-being, if they come in the morning and they are empty stomach, they are cranky, and we allow them to go and have a little granola bar to have that energy, the output is higher. Up to 3 times more productive employees with higher levels of well-being are able to work longer and more effectively due to their improved goals attainment and level of resilience. I know it's not nice to work longer, but all corporate people love their workers to work longer. My husband loves his worker to just keep working. And sometimes I'm agitated. Why? Why don't you let him go home? No, he has to finish all of this. But then if you want that, you need to give something. You need to give high levels of well-being as a priority. Just asking, how is he doing? How is he at home? You know, how is his family? How are his needs met? How is he managing? These kind of questions, they bring a sense of connectedness. Improved individual performance. Employees with high levels of well-being have been found to learn more effectively, be more creative, have better relations, be more social, pre-social in their behavior, feel more satisfied in their jobs, and perform better. And these are all the references. 4 times less likely to lose talent. We were talking about talent, creativity. Employees who take an unfavorable view of their workplace commitment to health and well-being are 4 times likely to leave in the next 12 months. And that is true. Our teachers coming from different parts of the world, they'll leave if we don't take care of them. They just pick up their bags and they leave. But if they know that we are taking care of them, it's a huge industry. If we're taking care of them, they are less likely to stay with us. They're more likely to stay with us. In contrast, 64% of those who take favorable view indicate that they are likely to stay for the next 5 years. And we will all want that. We all want an outstanding organization. We all want outstanding retention of staff. Real learnings get to the heart of what it means to be human. Through learning, we recreate ourselves. Through learning, we become able to do something we were never able to do. Through learning, we perceive the world and our relationship to it. Through learning, we extend our capacity to create, to be part of the generative process of life. Peter Senge. Thank you very much. Thank you for being a good audience. Is there any question? I'm available. Otherwise, I know we all are tired now.
Question.
Yeah.
So businesses have to make money to survive and to pay salaries.
Of course.
So well-being, I think, has taken a back seat because you got to make more money.
Of course.
So how do you balance that?
See, again, it's again coming from the top, trickle down, from the governance, from the stakeholders, from the mindset. So I'll just give you an example. I was transferred to Kuwait last year with a group of schools. There are 30 schools, very much established, very much goal-oriented about academics, and of course the student retention and staff retention and everything, and then paying bills and salaries. What I felt was that there was no space for social welfare. There was no space for care. There was no space for empathy. So what I did, because I was appointed for that, I'm a counselor. My job is to make sure that social aspect, emotional aspect is taken care of for the people. teachers and staff members can come to me and talk to me. Instead of just listening and nodding, I started taking their voice up there, started connecting. 100% I cannot provide what they want, but when they get that 1% change, it starts to, rumble in the works. So that's how it is. It's not a quick magic wand. It's not a quick fix, but having the mindset is what is the first foremost ground. That's what is important. There are a lot of takeaway messages that we are taking from this room today, but most importantly, start from yourself. Start here. Connect your heart and mind and body together. Once you start, you prioritize. There is a saying I was listening, a man lives 2 lives, a woman also lives 2 lives. The minute he understands, or she understands, that this life is ending, there is, it's coming to an end, that is when he starts living the second one. And I love it. So start living your second as quick as possible, because there's not going to be more chances. Thank you very much.
Faiza, thank you. Brilliant presentation, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. We are going now to take a break for 20 minutes. Please